Hey everyone, Dr. Brad here from drellisor.com, Kids Eating Broccoli podcast. And I wanted to talk today about the number one problem that I hear from parents of kids who've been diagnosed with ADHD or who have ADHD symptoms, whether they've been diagnosed or not. But I also wanted to take a minute first and talk about Kids Eating Broccoli podcast. And we just released the newest episode yesterday. And it was with Jane Hersey, who's the national director of the Feingold Association. And it was awesome. She has a wonderful story to tell about how she got involved and the work she's been doing for all these years ever since she got involved. It's basically a group of concerned parents who are looking to make a difference in our kids' lives through education and understanding about what is really going on out there in terms of the chemical industry and the food supply. So check it out, kidseatingbroccoli.com. You can find the podcast on iTunes and Stitcher and all those places too, or you can go to the website. There's some other awesome recent episodes too, but that one we just dropped yesterday. So for today's episode, I want to talk about the number one problem that I run into with parents of kids who have the symptoms of ADHD or who have been diagnosed with ADHD. And that number one, in relationship to talking with me. And so I work primarily in two facets in terms of ADHD. And so those are, one, in my physical office, chiropractic care, tonal chiropractic in particular, but then online and in sort of education of the wider world and also in office too. But in a more widespread way, it's nutritional change, dietary changes, nutritional changes, some with supplements, but particularly with things we stop feeding our kids and things we start feeding our kids, healing the gut, those type of things. So that's the context that I get told about this. But the biggest problem, the number one thing I run into with parents is not lack of good information out there. And it's not lack of resources of where to look and who to hear from, and where to get the changes and the possibilities from. Because really we live in the information age. You know, you can go on to Dr. Google anytime you want. Not only Dr. Google, but you got Dr. Facebook, Dr. Twitter, Dr. Instagram, Dr. Pinterest. So I don't really run into a lot of people anymore who have the difficulty of, I don't know where to find information, or I don't, I've never heard of what to do that nutrition could help. What I really run into is the problem of there's so much out there. How do I know what to do? And basically information overload. I think of a picture I've seen online a bunch of times of a little kid standing in front of a fire hose, and the fire hose is hitting him in the face. And I think that's the reality that most parents run into. It's like, there are, 17 different dietary plans. If you think your kid has leaky gut, there's 35 different ways to approach, the ADHD diet. Eliminate this, add this, these supplements, no, this supplement, And it's kind of like, where do you start? How do you begin? How do you know what to do with your situation, your kid, your family? Because there's more than just the kid. There's more than just the children and what's going on physiologically. Biologically, there's the family structure, interactions, relationships, schooling. There's a lot of directions, a lot of things that cause for every situation to be unique. So that's really the biggest problem I run into is where to start. How do I know what to do? And not only that, because a lot of these plans and ideas are have a lot of value, and you hear stories about. This person I know had this result and this person had this other result with something else. But who has time to try every single dietary plan? Because each time we change our diet and our nutrition with our children, typically that causes for us to have to change everything with our family. And if it's a lot different than what we've been doing, it's a big time, energy, and effort investment. So we kind of want to know that it's going to work or that it's likely going to work. And so there's just so many things out there. How do we know what to do? How do we start? And how do we know what's going to be the fastest, simplest method to correct the problem, to do everything we can, to know that we're doing everything we can to help our children with their nutrition, their diet, and ideally with the symptoms of inattention and hyperactivity and difficulty sleeping and chronic knee, leg pain at night and picky eating and all of these things we see, obsessive situations and even violent behaviors, mood swings, aggression. So that's what I run into the most. And because I want to help as many families, I want to reach 20 million families worldwide, I've been working on this problem in particular. And so my newest webinar, which we're running tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Pacific, that's Wednesday, which is what's the date? That'll be April 11th. Wednesday, April 11th, 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 o'clock Eastern, that is. Live webinar. We're going to be covering what I have found after researching, studying, learning from podcast guests and online and experts. What is the fastest, simplest method to help your children naturally with nutrition? So check it out. I'm going to put the link in the description before I share this, because I'm going to share this in a couple of different places. If you don't see the link in there, go to my Facebook page, Dr. Ellisor, Trusted Health, or Dr. Brad Ellisor, Trusted Health Advisor. You'll find a link there for the webinar. Sign up. It's free. We're limited to 100 spaces in the live webinar, so they're filling up. I haven't done the 9 a.m. before. I've typically done more in the afternoon. So it'll be interesting because I got a lot of feedback that time was difficult. So I'm trying a different time. And so if you register and you can't make it at that time, there will be a limited time replay available only for those people that register. So sign up, register, be there live, because then you can ask questions and I'll answer them. Okay, you guys be well, take care, and we'll see you next time.